So obviously this is rage bait.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney.
I will be the first. Everyone's talking about the Sydney Sweeney sexual ad.
Hi, love. So apparently Sydney Sweeney has great genes. No pun intended. And before I even get into the video, I'm just gonna address the it's not that deep type of people that are gonna come in the comments. Like, ads don't exist in a vacuum. In fact, you did not fall from a coconut tree. Ads are cultural. They reflect who we value, what we desire, and how power moves through beauty, race, and gender. So nothing is ever just odd. When you center a white, blonde, blue-eyed woman and say she has great genes, even as a pun, you are echoing a long, violent history. And when it's framed for teen audiences, because I'm not from America, but I know that American Eagles is primarily to the teen audience. So when you frame the ad via the male gaze and wrap it up as irony, it's harmless, it's calculated. You don't have to think the creator set around planning a eugenics campaign. That's not how modern propaganda works. It works precisely because you don't notice it. So yeah.
But anyway.
So to really understand what's going on, we have to break down the ad. Because, one thing I'm not going to do is look at something at face value. Like, yeah, we're going to have to make it deep. So in the ad, she begins by saying,
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans.
So this is a reverse psychology opener. Like, the ad pretends to distance itself from selling, like creating a false authenticity, implying like, I'm just a cool girl talking about jeans, not corporate shit at all. Like, it frames Sydney as a peer, not a model or authority, softening the defenses and making you more likely to absorb the message. So in order to not get copyrighted, I just found like the script, so that's what I'm going to be describing. The video is linked down below if you want to watch it in full. But anyway, she continues to say that, and I definitely won't say they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn or that they make your butt look amazing. This part, it ironically negates like advertising cliches, but in doing so also communicates the same message. Like, the butt looks amazing. This line is a nod to, the traditional male gaze. And Sydney says that she won't say it, but the phrasing forces you to think it anyway. So yeah, do you see that? I'm not saying that these first few lines are like highly problematic, but these are just basic advertising like manipulation tactics that a lot of brands use. But going down, skipping a few lines to the first sort of like thesis or like slogan of the ad, which is Sydney Sweeney has great genes, the male voice that you keep hearing throughout the entire ad. That's where you kind of like cringe a little bit, especially when she also said, you see what I did there? So the slogan, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, genetic, superiority, blonde, white, blue eyes. It's a play on genes and jeans. But this pun doubles as a dog whistle to eugenics. Her traits, beauty, slimness, youth, race, are cast as an inherited excellence and not marketing or styling. This reflects what Dorothy Roberts describes in The Killing the Black Body as the myth of biological superiority disguised as a lifestyle choice. And also, that's the thing. When she says that, you see what I did there? The acknowledging of the double meaning without fully unpacking it invites like complicity. It's like, if you get it, then you're in on the joke, but the joke is exclusionary. Like, this is the one thing the whole fascist aesthetic 101 thing is used, like the irony is used to launder dangerous ideologies into like cool memeable branding, like the whole acknowledging what things mean, which makes them less offensive to the audience. So back to the ad. She also says, genes are passed down from parents to offsprings, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. This line mimics very scientific instruction, making the ad sound, more educational. But this recalls the eugenics era, explaining why some races are more fit. Even the eye color, Sydney Sweeney has blue eyes, the classic Aryan trait idolized in the naughty, I'm gonna say naughty just to not get demonetized, propaganda. The use of personality as inherited is like a discredited, pseudo-scientific claim often used to argue the racial class superiority. Eugenic propaganda was used for this exact phrasing, linking genetics to character. And then we have the chilling line where she says, my genes are blue. blue jeans, and then also shows her with the blue eyes as well. Blue-eyed, racially ideal, biologically superior. It's a double entendre. What does that actually mean, double entendre? I feel like I just wrote it in, but I don't really know what it means. Let's look it up. Okay, I was on the right track, because then I am gonna compare it to the naughty Germany mid-century propaganda to the American, Nordic, and Anglo bloodline as clean or blue-eyed, blooded, whatever, which seems to be reoccurring as well, because I was looking at some ads from back in the day in America. Even Levi jeans, they have sort of the same tone, so this has never really gone away. Or is it anything new? Also, is it just me, or the almost AI voice that was just repeating Sydney Sweeney has great jeans? It definitely felt like a subliminal branding loop, where it's kind of like inescapable AI time that we're in. The way it's repeated throughout the ad, we become to accept what it says as truth. How right now a lot of people, even Gen Z, even the young people, can't even tell the difference between AI and what's real life, because it keeps telling us Sydney Sweeney has great genes, but also at the same time, she's not a natural blonde. She has to keep up with that. Not only that, she also has lip filler, has gotten work done, so it kind of makes the voice being repeated throughout the entire ad feel like they're manipulating us. They're trying to make us think something that's not real and really hard to attain. So in the last scene, she says that, "Hi, I'm Sydney Sweeney and I'm from Spokane, Washington," kind of making us feel like this just happened to be. No, this wasn't calculated. I got chosen to do this ad randomly, of which that's just not at all how it works.
I've worked in marketing for 15 years, and one of my favorite things to say whenever I see a billboard or a television show or something that looks a little problematic is, there were meetings about that. There were so many meetings about that. And I want to talk about how many meetings this had to go through. How many people saw this before it even got to us? Let's talk about it. So the first meeting you have the marketing team, and they get their budget in December or maybe around November, and they have to plot out what they're going to do for all of 2025. And they have a little pitch meeting where everyone's like, okay, in Q1, we're going to do this. In Q2, we're going to do this. And someone pitched Q3, July, August, September. For Q3, I'm thinking, let's do something great jeans, and we're gonna model who has great jeans and who's really hot, and why don't we get Sydney Sweeney? Everyone loves her, and it'll be this whole thing about great jeans. And everyone in the meeting's like, oh, that's great. And this meeting is the CMO, the chief marketing officer, the director of marketing, the digital marketing team, any creative, all those creative heads that are working here, all of their assistants, the coordinators, they're all in this meeting, because it's all hands on deck. We are pitching for the year, and this is what they pitched for Q3. Right, because this dropped right around the beginning of July. This is a Q3, this is supposed to last all through back to school, right? So that meeting's 10, 12 people. I'm being very conservative. That's about 10, 12 people, right? Second meeting we have, the chief marketing officer and probably the director of marketing have a meeting with the rest of the C-suite. And they tell the creative director, they tell the CEO, they tell all those people, this is what we have planned for the year. This is what we're doing in Q1. That we're really excited for Q2, for Q3 and back to school. We're going to do something with Sydney Sweeney, and it's going to be about great jeans and how she's super hot and great jeans, blah, blah, blah. In that meeting, everyone's like, that's great, amazing. We love every single thing you said. Approved, approved, approved. That meeting has another 6 people, 8 people, their assistants. So conservatively, 16 people in this meeting, right? So it's starting to stack up. From that meeting, they send everything over to Sydney Sweeney's team. Agents, managers, Sydney herself, whoever's in the room, whoever's on her team, her lawyers, everyone. They probably pitch her 3 different ideas for what they want to do. And they're like, love it. Sydney's in, let's go. That's another 6 people who heard Sydney Sweeney has great jeans and didn't think anything of it. It's another 6 people. So now we are at a good, almost 30 people who know what this ad is going to be about. And they're like, great, sounds great. We love it. Let's go. Sydney's team was like, the check has enough zeros on it. We're good. And everyone else like, this is a great idea. Sydney Sweeney does have great jeans, right? Okay, so the shoot's on. Now we have to talk about creative team. We have to talk about the copywriter who's going to write the script for this, because she has to say words. So someone wrote that script, right? We got the copywriter, we got the videographer, we got the director, we got all the people, all the crew that's on set who are hearing her say these words, because people are on set hearing her say this, the hairstylist, the makeup artist, all those people get a brief. And they're like, yo, the campaign is called Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes. It's about this, make her hair look like this, do something to her eyes so that they really pop, blah, 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 whatever. All of those creative people had a meeting about this and knew that it was going to say Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes, because she says it. She says all this stuff about genes in it, right? So that's another 20 people. You know what I mean? That's another 20 people who knew about this. And then we got post-production, right? So we got editors, people who are editing the video. We got graphic designers who are picking the color of the font, the kerning, the spacing, all the things, right? All of them read this. All of them saw her say the words and heard the voiceover guy. You know what I mean? All of that. That's another, what, like 8 people, right? I don't know how many we're up to. We're probably around 50. I'm gonna tally it up on the side. That's a lot of people. And then after it's done and through post-production, it goes back to the C-suite where they all approve. So then they have another round. This is a lot of people to approve this ad. For the amount of people online who are clear as day, like, this is eugenics, oh my God, how could they do this? There are so many people who have an uproar about this. This went through so many people. This had so many meetings. Not one person was like, that might be weird. You know what I mean? Not one of them thought that? That's crazy. That's the thing that's really getting to me. This went through so many meetings. I'm being conservative. This probably went through double what I'm even saying because she's so high profile. This is crazy. This went through so many meetings. You know what I mean? People are like, boycott American Eagle, blah, 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 whatever. Like, it's not even the fact that they put this ad out that I'd be like pissed about it. I'm more mad that like, the entire C-suite, the entire creative team, all of these people are so blind to that. Either, like, we're talking about, like, 80 people, 70, I don't know. I'm going to put the tally here. However many people are either completely ignorant, or they know exactly what they're doing, and they were like, cool. Do I want to buy denim from either of those groups? No, I actually don't, Do I want to buy denim from idiots? No. Do I want to buy denim from people who actively are trying to make a eugenics campaign? Absolutely not. So, I mean, I wasn't going to go to American Eagle anyway, you know me, but girl, so many meetings.
So with that being said, continuing about the last scene, the sort of director, we just hear the voice saying, you know, profile hands, and then she like shows her hands. And this is like the moment of like total objectification, which I know these are the basic things that a lot of models and people do when they are going for casting. Like, trust me, I am very much aware of that. But it's just the tone behind the whole thing. It's like the ultimate male gaze moment. Like, Sydney is reduced to just a visual object, like digitally inspected, like the whole camera zoom in. They also just purposely show how she doesn't have to do much, you know, because she has perfect genes. So anyway, going back to who is this ad really for? We have to take a step back. Sydney Sweeney is selling jeans, but not really to us, because according to the internet, American Eagle is a primary brand for teen girls and young women aged like 13 to 21 who like shopping at malls. So why does this ad feature a 26-year-old adult woman shot in a way that mimics softcore erotica, using language that makes your butt look amazing, and also includes, you know, sciencey, eugenics, puns and jeans, blue eyes, all that kind of stuff? Because this ad is definitely for the straight teen boys, male viewers who idolize or fetishize Sydney Sweeney's look, adults, which just makes the whole thing more sinister, because it's like you are making this ad for the male gaze, but it's also a shop or a business for teenage girls. So who are you luring to who here? Which brings to the conclusion that the product isn't just jeans, but the product is Sydney Sweeney, her body, her whiteness, her blue eyes, her great jeans. And at the end of the day, the brand gets viral attention via male engagement and online outrage, people like me. And teen girls absorb the message that this is the beauty ideal and this is what power, this is what you're supposed to look like. Anyway, those are all my thoughts on the American Eagle Sydney Sweeney has great jeans ad. Tell me what you guys think about this video. And no, I've not yet given birth. I've tried everything. This baby just wants to stay up in here. But anyway, see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, before I go, I want to give a shout out to Amy. Thank you so much for engaging with my videos. If you want a shout out, just comment down on my videos and I'll most probably give you one at the end of my videos. Anyway, bye.